Good afternoon, it's Michael here from Michael's Card Art, and I've got a short video for you today just to show you on the back of a number of requests that I had, how did I create the opening windows on the card that I posted the other day. Now, I'm not going to do a full video on this card because basically the main elements that you're looking at here, I'm sure most of you know how to do those. It's really just a matter of applying your DSP, cutting out the various shapes and attaching those to the DSP. There are two elements that I wanted to share about this card though. The first one I'll show you now. I did say that this card was a gift card holder, birthday card, if there is such a thing. So the first part is that I'll show you how to create the windows, and the second part is how did I do the gift card holder. Now, if I just use the card here and show you, this is simply the gift card holder here. I probably should have put a gift card in there when I posted it, but all I've done here with that is, I'll show you on this sample here, is let's say this is our piece that we've cut out and we're going to use that as the gift card holder. I grabbed a piece of, what do we call that, tear and tape or double-sided sticky tape, I don't know what the correct terminology is, but all I did was I placed the tear and tape down the bottom here and then on each of the sides, leaving this side free for you to put in the tape, the gift card. And what I did was placed it like so, with a slight bend in the center, so that there was an element of movement so that you could place your gift card in there. So if we go back to the actual card itself, you can see there that slight opening that is there, and that's where the gift card goes in. So that's all it is there. It's nothing more complex than that. And yes, it was just the tear and tape on the three sides, leaving this one open. Let's now go and explore the windows. How did I create those? Right, so if I show you the card side view, you can see here on this particular card, you've got the dimensionals are in there. So I've really got the base card is the top card that you see there, and you'll see you've got a couple of layers of card in there with dimensionals. So that's what we're going to show you how to do that today. I also just want to point out one other thing, and you'll see this double, what I'm calling a double score, and it is the thing that makes this card work so well when you're folding it. You'll notice here, if I can point this out, there's a score there and a score there, and it allows the card to fold on itself with all that bulk in there without doing any damage to the contents within. That double fold is most important, and I can't tell you how to what measurement you should use for that double fold. It all depends on the contents that are going to be inside the card, and in this case the score lines are pretty close together because there's not a lot of bulk inside. It's really just the dimensionals that creates the necessity for that double fold. Now double score, and you'll see that double score when we look at creating the hinges in this piece here now. All right, so I hope that has been helpful in some way, shape or form about that double score. Right, let's move on to the creating a window. Now I'm just using a couple of bits of scrap paper to show you this, but it is important that you do it in this manner if you want painless success, if I can say that. So the first thing that you need to be aware of is this. if I take, and I've created this little sample for you so you can see what I'm talking about. You're going to score, no, you're not going to score, you're going to cut your window frame out. Like here. So you're going to have to cut out that shape. But when you cut it out, you need to have your DSP and your base card together. And I say that because, and it's best, and also I say that because you want everything to be aligned when it comes to gluing it. If you cut all these pieces separately, as in your DSP and your cardstock, you're just going to be fiddling around forever. And how do I know that? Because the very first card I did with Windows, I was fiddling forever. Okay, so, and this is what you're going to see when it's all comes together. You've got your DSP, that's this one. You've got your supporting base card there, because you do need to have thickness there. The DSP is not strong enough by itself. And when you open, you either want to have a clean finish, and in this case what I've done, the extra piece was just white cardstock. But you can, when you open the window, let's say that was the window, you open it, you see a really nice background there. Sometimes the cardstock underneath can get a bit ratty, or you may have a few mistakes or blemishes there. So this extra piece of DSP or white cardstock, as I've got there, just hides a multitude of sins and keeps it looking neat and tidy. So let's get started. What I'm going to do is, first of all, this is exactly what I did. First of all, I'm going to adhere the pieces together, and I'll just use the tear and tape to do that. And maybe I need to do a class on how to use tear and tape. And I don't even know if this is what's called tear and tape. I just have heard that term and I just assumed that that's what it is. Okay, so let's just get this into place. There we go. Okay, so the DSP is now attached to the cardstock. Right, so let me just go and run that through the die machine, and I'll be straight back. There we go. Now, as we know, some DSP is a bit thicker than the others, and but with a couple of runs through the die press, you will see that that will flip out quite nicely. Now, right, now see how this is a little bit wrinkled, the cardstock. That's the sort of thing you don't want to see when you open that window. And this is simply brought upon by how well used your cutting plates are. So what I'd be recommending is a piece of DSP that sits over that, so that when you open it, you've got that. Okay, now the key piece in the whole puzzle is the hinge. And remember I spoke about the double score before? This is another example of where the double score is important. In fact, it's critical to the success of your hinge mechanism working. Now, what I did was, I've got my DSP glued to my cardstock. The hinge has to be glued in here at this point before you place on the backing DSP. Now, this DSP may or may not be strong enough to support the hinge. I know it is because I've used it before, but it's something that you need to consider yourself, because with this one I placed cardboard at the back of it as the third piece, DSP, card base and the backing board. So that's very strong, and the hinge will hold very firmly there. If the window is going to be used excessively and you're only using DSP on the backing, it may not be strong enough to hold it. However, you can see where that double score is. Great. Now what we're going to do is, using tear and tape again, I'm just going to adhere that. Let me just give it a quick wipe of that on there. Okay, let's just put that onto the first piece and put it on as close to the first score line that you've got there. Okay, can you see that? Right, then your DSP will go over the top of that. So your hinge is now looking a lot like this. Yeah? So let me just put on some tape there. I'll put the blue one on just so that it has, it's very clear to see. So we've got our hinge securely attached. We're now putting on the third layer of card material. There we go. Now, that's very firm there, well attached. Okay, now what we need to do is, let's assume this is the window, find where it aligns. Okay, so here's the alignment. Now, this, flipping it over, will go there. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to attach that. A bit of tear and tape again. There we go. Now that's adhered and attached. Right. Okay. It opens up nicely. There you go. Now, what we need to do, we've still got an exposed hinge. Now, we could, at this stage, place in the, we could place this backing board over here and hide that all together. But what I did with this one, when you open that, you will notice I've used dimensionals to create a sense of distance. So when you open it, this is not sitting flush. There is a little bit of depth to the image, and that creates a level of interest as well. So, as I said, you could immediately go and glue that to the backing board and then stick your picture in there. But what I've done, I'm just going to find you a quick image that I can quickly put there. Let's say, when we open this, sorry, I'm just going to get another piece of paper so that you've got something to look at when I open the window. Right, this will do nicely because it's about that size, isn't it? Yes. So what I'm going to do is just cut this piece out here. Right. There's our piece. We want it to sit somewhere so that when we open the window, it's what we're seeing. There we go. Okay, and that's quite a nice view there. All right, so let's just oops, get that onto, I'll cut this out a bit more. So it does come closer. Actually, it's there that I need to be focusing it. Here we go. Okay, yes. There it is. Okay, let's attach that. There we go. making sure it's still aligned to our little window. And there it goes there. Okay. Right. There it is there. Now, and to give us our height, let's just use a couple of dimensionals. And I find the easiest way to do the dimensionals is like this. Oh, sorry, easiest way. I attach them really to my base card, and I know then that there's enough support in those areas that are where it's needed. Okay. I use a lot of dimensionals actually when I'm pulling together a piece of work. I'm just going to put one there to support the dimensional. There we go. Support the hinge, I mean. And another one there. Okay. All right. Now this then gets attached to that, like that. And there you go. It's as easy as that. So that's how I created the doors. I did put an embellishment on act as a door handle, if you like, even though I don't use it. But there it is. That's the door handle. There's the window, and there is our hinge working nicely. And that piece of card then has hidden the look of the hinge, and you can go about completing your card. And you will notice there that the way I've done that with that the dimensional, it sits inside the card because it's thicker than the backing board, than the other page. The double score helps the bulk and allows it to fold seamlessly and easily. Okay, so that's it. How to do a hinge on a window fold. Just as simple as that. The double score, as I said, creates, removes that or makes it efficient to fold, and the gift card holder was just tear and taped on 3 sides, allowing me to do an insert on, where is it here, to allow it to be used as a gift card. All right, well, that's it for today. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've enjoyed that. But most of all, I hope to see you next time on Michael's Card Art. Thank you.